Hello again. We're going to continue where we left off, which was we were going to discuss the wooden planks inside the group and the texture baking. And again, that's just select the group, press tab, you're inside. If you press tab again and you've got another group selected, you'll enter it. So to get back out, just press Control Tab, Control Tab. So tab to in, Control Tab out. So once you're in order to see the wooden planks properly, we're probably going to want a 2D plane for now. So I'm going to add a plane, rotate it on the X, move it over here, scale it up a bit, scale it up a bit, and I'm going to subdivide it 1, 2, 3, 4. And also add a subdivision surface 2, 3. And I'm going to add the surface builder, the wood builder 3.0. And if you add it and you can't find it, just press A, then press S, and the scale arrow will point you in the right direction. So I'm just going to check every now and then. There she blows. It's set up to be, if you made any material, it would be in the middle, but for some reason that sometimes happens. So you want to go into the group with tab, and then on the wooden planks mix, just slide that up, and then you got some wooden planks. Really far too strong wooden planks. So that's strength. Looks like I'm missing a strength here, so I need to add one in. But you can just change the displacement. So I'm going to back out, go to displacement amount, which is the first one, regular displacement, and I'm going to put that at 0.1. That's better. And I'm going to go back into the group, and we're back at the main, the planks. I'm actually going to give that 4, just to remove some of those jagged edges. And you've just got all these controls here to play with. So roughness, self-explanatory. Dark patches, you can see these dark patches, they're mixed in. If you take them out, they're not mixed in. That's that. And then you've got two follicles, two colour filters to muck around with, mix them in, play about with them, just for a bit of added fun. And then you've got the bump settings, so the cracks bump are these etchings, and the dark patches match these bits, so you can mix those in and out. And then over here you've got all the shape stuff, so the global scale, gap size, which is the mortar really, plank width, the bias, so if you change that to 0, everything will be all over the place, because it's not favouring one colour over another. So if the bias was on 1, it would all be sticking out at the same rate. But if the bias is at 0.5, for instance, it's like that. And then these are just filters for the different grains that you can play about with. And then you've got these colours here for the planks. Change them at your whim. That's wooden planks, filters, discussed. Now texture baking. So we don't need the planks anymore. Oh wait, it didn't in this instance, but whatever shape you make for the wooden planks, I would cube projection it up. So cube projection, and then it's all good because it's based on the UVs. Alright, delete. Texture baking. I'm going to go back to 1. Okay, so let's say we need to turn off wooden planks. It doesn't look so good on a tree trunk. So 0, goodbye, and let's pick a more meaty. See, it's gone again. I don't know why it does this. Why it's suddenly all the way down here. Let me just pick a better bark. Pick a better bark. So I don't want bark 8. Goodbye. But I do want maybe bark 3. Let's look at that. Nah, let's do bark 2, brother. Let's do bark 2. Let's not muck about. And then let's give it some oomph, because we took the displacement strength down. I'm going to put it back up to 1. Okay. So now, let's say you want to use this in Eevee, or bake this out to be an object, a physical object that can be put into something else. There is a way to do that with the texture baking options. So first we need to duplicate this tree trunk, and because we duplicated it, it's already UV mapped exactly the same, so everything we do over here will match the UVs over here, and we don't need the UVs visible, but what we will need is an image editor up here. So I'm going to bring up an image editor. Okay, so on this one, the one on the right, we don't need the material because we're going to make a new one, but we do want it on this. And inside the group, so when you tab inside, you're up here, texture baking. These are all the outputs you're going to need to bake into individual maps. This is a preview node, so you can double check if you need to, but also to load up the latest texture. And there's mapping. It's in UV, you can change it, but baking really requires UV, so I'd leave it at that. So all we need to do is first we will bake the regular displacement. So we want, with Node Wrangler, Control Shift Click Bark Regular Displacement, and you can see how the displacement reduction is working its stuff here. It's all dark up here because of the level we set the reduction mix to in the previous guide. So yeah, and then we want to make a new material up here, and I would go 4K 4096, and we don't need alpha, we don't need any of this. Okay, so now we have this. I didn't give it a name. Give it a name, Bark 2 Disp. That's what I'll call it, Bark 2 Disp. Once you've done that, you want to load that into here, Bark 2 Disp, into this preview node, and then we go over to render settings, and because we're baking, we only need, oh, it's the new, I've got render 3, samples 1, yes, good. You want samples set to 1 for render, because we're not doing lighting, we just want this color information, we only need 1 pass. And then further down, let me hide some of these menus that we don't need. Performance, under performance, yes, we want, oh hang on, has this changed? Wait, performance, where's tiles? I'll come back when I find tiles. Alright, okay, I found it. I'm assuming it's this. Under performance memory, you've got use tiling. This number tile size needs to match the image we made, which is 4K. So make sure under performance, memory, use tiling, tile size, 4K, the same as this. Once you've done that, because we've Control Shift clicked this node pip, that's going through an emission node, so we can see it here without any interaction with light or anything. So we choose emit from this menu, from the bake menu. And with the object selected, Bark 2 Disp up there, Bark 2 Disp loaded there, we click Bake. Now I haven't baked in Blender 3 yet, to be honest, so I don't know if it's any quicker. Yep, yeah, it's quicker. Okay, and as you can see, it's gone with the UV, the cylinder UV mapping I've put in for that one. So once you've done that, you want to save that image, save as. Let's put this, it's fine in here. I save it as TIFFs because it's lossless. So bark2disp.tiff, save as image. And then we'll repeat the process for all the other maps we're going to need. So we're not going to need vector displacement, but we are going to want bump. So Control Shift click Bark Bump. Click the cross on that and make a new image, same settings. But I should name it before I press OK. Bark2 Bump. That'll do it, and then load that into here, Bark 2 Bump, and then click Bake. And then all we've got to do is I've got to figure out where the bark colour's gone. Oh, terrible. Right, in my update I've managed to remove bark colour, so bear with me, I'm going to put it in and I'll come back. Okay, I found it, added it. but I didn't save this first. So the bark bump that we just baked, save as, bark bump, and again I'm going to be a TIFF, save as. Okay, now we want to click Control Shift click bark color, and the same again, click the cross, click new, call it bark to col, excuse me, and press OK, and then change this to bark to col, and click, make sure that's selected, and click bake. And now we just hang on for a couple of seconds, and then we'll find out that it's baked nice. There it is. So image, save as, bark to col dot tiff, save. Alright. Okay, so we can now actually delete that because we don't need it no more. We can delete that. Okay, so now we'll turn this into what that was. So we can actually switch over to Eevee now, because unless I don't have any other, oh wait, have I got anything else with the infinite? No. Okay, just because there's nothing in the scene with any infinite builder, I can switch over to Eevee. So now we need to add a new material. Let's do a AS trick, because I don't know where that is. It's over here, there you are. Excuse me, awful. And we're going to add, you can do it Shift A, and then you know, texture, shader, whatever. I'm going to do it in my quick menu. Just tell you what you need. You need 2 image textures. You'll need a texture coordinate, and plug UVs into both of these guys. One of them is going to be the bark to col, the top one, and the bottom one is going to be bark to bump. And then we need a bump node, and we're going to plug this guy in a hat, and then this guy in a normal, like this. And now we can see that takes its effect. Let's put the color into the color of the principled, and let's see that take its effect. So now we have that, but for the displacement we need to do something a little different, and we've got to add a Displace Modifier. So in your modifiers panel, you want to go Displace, excuse me, you want to click new, and then under your texture properties at the bottom there, you want to click open and bark to disp, and then it looks awful. So then we go back to the displace, and under coordinates we want UV, and direction normal should do it. Mid-level we want that at 0, and now the strength way down to like, let's go, oh no, that's minus, does some crazy stuff. So there we go. We now have the IWB in Eevee. And that's the entire texture baking process. If you want to add a little extra to this, you can add an ambient occlusion, which is in your inputs, and a color ramp. And then you want to drop that color into there, Control Shift click the ramp so we can see it, and then just bring up the black. There's seemingly nothing changing there. Why is that? That's weird. Oh, well, normally you get dust this way. I can't fathom. Why is it doing that? There should be. Well, I'll go through the process. Maybe for this particular arc it's not working, but by doing this you can add some dust in the cracks, and then you just add a mix RGB. You put the top, this one, into the bottom of the mix, put that one in the top, and then crank that up and set that to multiply, and then it will multiply just the dark values over what color information is already there. But for some reason that's having no effect with this shader. But so that's pretty much that's that. That's how you texture bake. And then if you wanted to, you could then Control A on the subdiv first, and then Control A on the displace, and then you got yourself a mesh. It's no longer in need of displace modifiers. It's a physical mesh, so that can be exported as FBX and the like. But that is all you need to know about the IWB, the latest version. So yeah, get cracking with it. Have a ton of fun. Make yourself a bunch of new trees, use the sapling tree presets, and then just change the values. Make your own individual style trees. But that's it. We're done. So I have been Nick. You have been you. Until next time. Bye bye.